All of that coming your way. But first, it can be scary to find out your personal details have been taken in a cyber attack. But even more of a concern if a child's information is taken.
Yeah, that's what happened when 8,000 children had their pictures, names and home addresses stolen as criminals hacked their nursery system. Presenter Zoe Hardman has been finding out how it could happen to anyone.
This is no computer game. It's a map tracking cyber attacks being launched across the globe in real time, millions of them every single day. They've caused chaos at airports, emptied shop shelves and halted car production lines. But in September, those cyber attacks got personal, striking at the heart of thousands of families.
We received a notification to explain that there had been a data breach at the nursery. Our child was part of that breach.
Every parent's worst nightmare.
Yes.
Many of us have either experienced or worry about finding out our most sensitive data has been leaked, with no control over who has it or what they're going to do with it.
Last month, Steve received an email telling him that Kiddo, a nursery chain that his children attended, had been the victim of what is called a cybersecurity incident. Days later, Kiddo emailed Steve again, outlining the personal details that had been hacked.
It went on to stipulate that information that had been taken included names, dates of birth, profile pictures of the children.
Steve.
All of the working information of the parents, our occupations, our dates of birth, our addresses, telephone numbers, email addresses.
The hack made headlines. Reportedly, the details of 8,000 children were stolen. The thieves threatened to release them unless a ransom was paid.
That was when it really hit home that the information was being held by hackers and was being published or threatened to be published on the dark web.
What was going through your mind at the time?
Children have done nothing. There's no reason to put children's information onto an insidious place like the dark web.
It was even reported that the criminals phoned parents directly, revealing the extent of details they had. Steve wasn't one of them, but this experience has still taken its toll.
The children are blissfully unaware. They're going on with their lives as they normally would. For me, I've had some sleepless nights. It's been a challenge.
Does it change the way you see handing out your data?
Yeah, definitely. I'm more cautious about the information that's given about my children, and certainly wouldn't want that information out in public, let alone the dark web.
Graham Stewart is a cybersecurity expert with a company called Checkpoint. It's among the many businesses in this field that are monitoring the modern-day epidemic of cyber attacks.
This map is tracking attacks in real time as they're happening across the world that we're seeing. So we have teams that sit in the background that monitor all of these things. And what we try to do is give a graphical representation of what's going on.
I can't get my head around it. Nearly 4 million attacks already today. It's still the morning.
Yeah, and these numbers will go up every single day. I mean, this is only heading in one direction.
Graham says that criminals behind the recent spate of cyber attacks are after two things: our data and a ransom from the company they've targeted.
Your personal data is your email address, your phone number, your bank details, your home address. They're after this because, frankly, there's value in it, and that can be bought and sold like any other commodity. And the next thing is they deploy what's called ransomware. And what that does is that locks down all the systems, so the systems are completely useless. And then they'll extort the organisation and say, if you want your computer systems back, you need to give us $10 million. It's a terrifying new development.
And for somebody that has had the unfortunate, experience of being hacked, what is your advice to them?
So the first thing you need to do is you need to change all of your passwords, because that's one of the things they're looking for. Okay. The second thing you need to do is you need to ask the organisation what's happened. But it's really important to understand what the implications of the attack were, what they stole, how much of it they stole. You have to understand that there is a risk. The more information you provide, the more attractive you are to the attackers who might want to steal it.
To try and tackle the threat, the government recently outlined new proposals in its upcoming Cybersecurity and Resilience Bill. It pledges to give extra help to firms providing IT to public services so they are no longer an easy target for cyber criminals. But victims of cyber attack-led data leaks like Steve are living with the consequences now and in the future. We asked our expert Graham to tell Steve just what to watch out for.
I'm afraid to say that those details are now out on the dark web, and unfortunately, that's where they're going to stay. So you'll probably, undoubtedly, start to see an increase in the number of text messages you're getting and emails you're getting from organisations you don't know, but also organisations purporting to be from organisations you do know.
Have you noticed any unusual activity?
Yeah, I had a phone call actually. They left a message proclaiming to be Visa saying that I've got an unapproved transaction for £799 that I need to confirm is correct. So.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
This is about awareness and understanding that this is now the modern way and this is how it's going to work from now on, and everyone needs to be really cautious.
Data breach victims can get something called protective registration from an organisation called CIFAS. Costing £30 for 2 years, it places a warning on your personal details that are held on the CIFAS National Fraud Database. Anyone using your details to try and buy products or services is then immediately flagged as requiring extra checks. Currently, a data breach must be reported to the authorities within 72 hours. But Steve feels when a cyber attack does happen, it's crucial there's clear communication between the companies affected and data breach victims like his family.
Silence speaks volumes, and their silence when there was so many anxious parents. I think that they could have been a lot more forthcoming with the information that they had.
What advice would you give to other parents who've been through something similar?
Be careful of what information you're giving anyone about your children. If it falls into the wrong hands, the reality of who might have that information about your children is terrifying.
There will be more of these sorts of attacks, but it's important to not feel powerless and remember that we do have an element of control over who we give our data to and assessing if it's worth the risks. If information about us is stolen, there are lots of ways we can work to minimise the damage these sorts of hacks cause.
We also do our very best on Modern Life to make sure you don't get caught out in the first place, of course, but it is difficult with the scammers, isn't it?
Oh, it is, constant. In response to this film, by the way, Kiddo told us that in September it identified and responded to a cyber incident, working with specialists to investigate. It swiftly informed the authorities and Kiddo families.
Kiddo praised the Met Police for bringing those responsible to justice and said it is committed to supporting the police, families, colleagues and the Kiddo community. It also said that data relating to Stephen was not published on the dark web as part of this incident.